What's up, everybody? It's Coach Colton here at Columbus Martial Arts. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Just want to remind everyone that today is the last day to sign up for the tournament. So by midnight, you have to be signed up. Our tournament is not this Saturday, it's next Saturday. Our Halloween is tomorrow. Our Halloween party is tomorrow from 2 to 4. The tournament's going to be Saturday, November 5th. That yet. I've had some parents ask me about the times. We won't know the specific brackets until next week after the students weigh in. Once the students all weigh in, we'll know what their brackets are and who they're going against, that kind of a thing. But if you're basic, core, or extreme, your matches will start at 9, and it's in the morning, of course. Junior elite will be at 10:30. Elite will be at 12 o'clock noon, and leadership at 1:30. So make sure that you arrive at that time. Bring all your sparring gear if you're in junior elite, or leadership with you. And then, of course, basic, core, and extreme, just need your uniforms. Arrive on time night before. Make sure you go to bed on time. You don't eat anything crazy for dinner or breakfast. Sometimes the nerves can go on the stomach. So if you eat a really heavy breakfast, it might not put you in optimal speed and condition to go and do the tournament that day. And also a reminder, of course, junior elite, elite, and leadership, the tournament is a requirement, not for this past belt testing, but for the next belt testing cycle. So if you're not able to do the tournament that day, you'll be unable to do the next belt testing. Basic, core, and extreme is completely optional. Signups are still open for you guys. Early skills, we don't have a tournament for you guys. It's just a little bit too soon for you guys, like our students, to know some of the basic moves before we throw them in there. With that said, I wanted to also talk about a couple things really quick for parents going into the tournament. I've done FAQ videos in the past for testing and stuff like that. We have an entire tournament handbook. If you're not aware, we have a tournament handbook on the app at the same place you find the student handbook. It's right next to the stripe test. So if this is your first time doing the tournament, or if it's been a while, hop on there, watch a few of the videos just to acquaint yourself with the rules. There'll be a full in-depth rules meeting the morning of the tournament as well. I've also done a video recently talking about why we do tournament. I don't want to hit that too much into this video, but I do want to talk about parents really quick in regards to the tournament, because parents are the real MVPs of not just the tournament experience, but of the program as well. We've talked in the past about how students that reach their black belts, 9 times out of 10, they have strong goals. And getting the black belt, that's not the goal. It's increasing their focus, increasing their physical health, increasing their confidence, having perseverance and not giving up along the way. If it's just to have a certain level of fun, well, all things stop being fun at some point. Your favorite TV show stops being fun. If you like, chocolate ice cream and you start eating chocolate ice cream, at some point there's going to be diminishing returns and you're going to stop liking it as much. Everything at some point, the fun diminishes a little bit, right? And at that point, it becomes very easy to quit and you'll never reach the goal of achieving your black belt. So those same goals, being the reason that students, first start martial arts, are some of the same reasons we run the tournament. And in terms of interesting thing, I have students that absolutely love it. What guys don't like to wrestle around and, mess around and play fight and things like that, especially with my younger students. But I do have some students where they're a little shy. And for students that don't like competition, usually it falls into one of 3 reasons. So if you find your student not wanting to do the competition and they're apprehensive, if they're in that basic, core, extreme group, it's completely optional. You don't have to push them. I do encourage it. But if you feel like they're not ready and they're giving you a lot of apprehension about it, maybe come and watch this one and then go do the next one and tackle that. Now, junior elite, and leadership, it is a requirement because we know how important it is to put students in those stressful environments every now and then, because as we push our students out of their comfort zone, we give them the opportunity to grow as individuals. And our stripe tests are that kind of on a micro level. Every time they have a new stripe test to do, they're getting pushed out of their comfort zone a little bit. This is that, just, to a degree, a little bit of a bigger degree. And then those students that have to do the tournament, if they don't like the sparring, there's usually 3 reasons why. Reason 1, they don't want to hurt anyone in there. Reason 2, they don't want to get hurt. Or reason 3, it's not fun. And there's kind of asterisk on that one. And it always comes back to the pressure, the mental pressure. And on the first 2, hurting someone and not getting hurt back, what really helps the students with that one is understanding the difference between being hurt and being injured. No one's going to get injured. Getting hurt, maybe. Hurts, bump, bruise, scratch. You try to punch someone, your hands are open, you scratch them with a fingernail. Okay, that might happen. You go for a shot, you get a little mat burn on the top of your foot where you're dragging your foot across the mat, kind of like a carpet burn. Okay, that's going to happen. You accidentally bump heads to someone, you get a bruise, that's going to happen. As far as, broken bones and surgery and blood and guts and Halloween kind of stuff going on, not going to happen. And a lot of students have this irrational fear because they don't know what their body can do and they haven't been put in those situations. So having that talk usually diminishes that in a great deal for those students. The pressure usually actually comes from the parents. And if you talk to your child and then you find they're not afraid of hurting someone and they're not afraid of getting hurt, it usually has to deal with the pressure from the parents, from the bleachers, whether it's the way that you talk to them before or after class or during the class. And the best way I can kind of describe it is with the metaphor of the little league parent. And I think you know where I'm going with this. If your child has done other sports, or if you've watched, movies where you see kids sports in there, there'll often be that caricature of a parent, that overbearing parent saying, Johnny, hit him hard, or run fast, or Karate Kid has that sweep the leg, Johnny, right? That person who's just yelling from the peanut gallery, adding a lot of fuel to the fire, adding a lot of pressure. And that pressure is going to be negative reinforcement for the student. It's not going to make them perform any better. It's just going to weigh them down, add more things on their plate, and, really, weigh heavy on their mind because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of not living up to your expectations. They're afraid of not doing well. And often that parent probably had that done to them as a child, and they're kind of repeating that cycle and pushing that forward. And then that kid's going to grow up and do it to their kid, right? And here with our program, it's a very much a positive reinforcement program. It's a goal-setting program. So that kind of yelling out, completely works against everything else that the program is doing. But I understand that parents want their students to do well. And that is the reason behind the yelling, right? Is they want their child to do well. So couple things. One, in class, I've noticed every now and then a parent will get into it and they'll yell. Remember, in class, in the gym, it's poor etiquette to yell from the bleachers to your student. Let the coaches do their thing. Don't embarrass your kid out on the mats. Keep the lip zipped, parents, during the class. In the tournament, that's a little different, okay? There's going to be hooping and hollering, and there's going to be supporting every student out there, right? But you have to do it the right way. I would encourage you to take the technical part out for two reasons. One, many parents haven't done martial arts. And if you haven't done martial arts and you're yelling certain things to do, it might not be the right thing. You might be steering your student the wrong way. And they, practicing it every day, know that, but they also know they're supposed to listen to their parents. So it's causing conflict. It's causing them to pause. And you can see the steam coming out of the ears, right? So one, if you're going to yell any type of support the day of the tournament, I would leave the technical part out unless you know 100% that you're right. Secondly, when you're yelling the technical stuff out, even if it is correct, oftentimes students will stop and listen. And what can they not do when they're stopping to listen? Do the move. And that's when the other person attacks and they kind of have the disadvantage there. So be careful yelling technical advice. What is much better is just simple moral support. Good job, doing awesome. Anything without negative words in it. Things like, don't let him get to your back. Don't let him punch you in the face. You got to block that kick. Those things, while simple, have negative connotations. The connotation is he's punching you. He's kicking you. He's getting behind your back. The other person is winning. So if you're going to show that support from the bleachers, parents, during the day of the tournament, make sure it's positive. Keep up the great work. An awesome punch. Good takedown attempt. Positivity. That's going to raise the spirits. It's simple enough where they don't have to stop and think about it. It's not going to conflict with their inner monologue at all. And often, coaching in that way from the sidelines, I've seen students that I thought was because their morale and that confidence is contagious. So just want to talk about that as far as like mat side stuff goes. Night before, obviously have a talk, or the morning of, have a talk, just, setting out your expectations, saying, letting them know, proud no matter what, just like what you do every day, kind of a calming talk, and make sure that they go to bed on time and eat something for breakfast, not too heavy, fruit, oatmeal, cereal. I would avoid, the triple decker pancakes with all the syrup, or the ham and egg and cheese and sausage and all that stuff that it could really weigh down on them. But anyways, just a quick word of advice for me, from I've seen from years of coaching. Hopefully that helps you out, parents. If you have any questions leading up, let us know. Weigh-ins are going to happen next week. The cutoff for sign-up is tonight at midnight. And again, times for the tournament: basic core and extreme at 9, junior elite at 10:30, elite at noon, leadership at 1:30. Hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Hopefully I'll see you at the Halloween party tomorrow too, 2 to 4. That's it though. Have a good one. Stay safe. We'll see you on the mat soon. Bye.